Coming up on this edition of Southwest TV News. May 24th was a day of celebration for 10 individuals who were honored with the Saskatchewan Order of Merit, presented by the Lieutenant Governor. Fans and other supporters of the Swift Current Broncos gathered at the iPlex for the 2016 induction dinner. Coinciding with the city's long-term goal of reaching 25 by 25 is a new master plan from the fire department. Thanks for joining us here today. A well-known resident of Southwest Saskatchewan has received the province's highest honor. We have more in today's top story. May 24th was a day of celebration for 10 individuals who were honored with the Saskatchewan Order of Merit, presented by the Lieutenant Governor. An award which recognizes excellence, achievement, and contributions to the social, cultural, and economic well-being of our province. Eldon McIntyre, owner of Jared Oils Limited from Southwest Saskatchewan, was one of those recipients. In the oil business for 47 years, Eldon McIntyre has achieved success from humble beginnings on the farm near Hazelet. And while owning and managing over 100 producing oil wells, McIntyre has never forgotten his rural roots, with a passion for helping others. This includes the development of the McIntyre Family Foundation, offering scholarships for healthcare students, to a recent $10 million donation to the new Saskatchewan Children's Hospital.
If you're successful, I think you have to, at one point in time, become a philanthropist in whatever you choose. I've chosen this road, but I just think you should give back. Saskatchewan has always been dear to my heart.
And although McIntyre finds his recent award humbling, he would sooner be out in the field drilling for oil or working on the next business deal, rather than discussing his philanthropic nature. Now at the age of 75 and still very active in his oil business, he offers this advice to new entrepreneurs.
Well, make sure you really love what you're going in for. That's the main part. You can't go through life hating your job. You've got to find something that you love to do, and hopefully it'll make you enough money. I like the machinery part of oil. I like the investing part of oil. I love the drilling part. When the bit hits the ground, I hardly sleep for the 5 days till we find out whether we hit oil.
The Saskatchewan Order of Merit was established in 1985 and is the province's highest honor and is handed out to 10 recipients each year. Eldon McIntyre, philanthropist, entrepreneur, oilman. Another exciting season of Market Square returns to downtown Swift Current, featuring live entertainment, fresh garden produce, crafts, and other unique vendors. Market Square, every Saturday at the corner of Central and Chaplin. Proudly presented by the City of Swift Current and Standard Motors, along with Innovation Credit Union and Southwest TV News. Well, it was a big night for Sheldon Kennedy in Swift Current as he was inducted into the Broncos Hall of Fame. This wall at the Credit Union iPlex in Swift Current showcases former Broncos alumni inducted into the Hall of Fame. Now former Swift Current Broncos captain Sheldon Kennedy joins this elite field of hockey players. Fans and other supporters of the Swift Current Broncos gathered at the iPlex for the 2016 induction dinner. An evening which included reflection of Sheldon Kennedy's contributions to the 1989 Memorial Cup championship team, NHL career with the Detroit Red Wings, Boston Bruins, and Calgary Flames, and his work internationally with Respect Group, Inc. A memorable evening for Kennedy, filled with emotion and gratitude. As 27 years after playing with the Swift Current Broncos, he received the organization's highest honor.
You know, back in 1997 when my story broke, the last person I think that people ever felt that would have been inducted into the Swift Current Broncos Hall of Fame was Sheldon Kennedy. And I think that as years have gone on, it's really shown us all that we have to and we can move beyond tragic events. And there's hope. And I think it has to be about hope. And there's hope to learn, to accept, and to move on. And I think that that's important. And I think that's what today is. And for that, it means a lot to me.
And for the Swift Current Broncos, the evening was not only a way to acknowledge one of their key alumni, but to offer a hand of friendship and a sense of caring. As board chairman Liam Chufu publicly apologized for the terrible acts Kennedy had experienced by former coach Graham James, while showing admiration for his rise above the pain.
Just on a personal level, I just really admire how he has taken such tragedy and such horrific, unconscionable acts and being able to turn the conversation around and rewrite the story in such a positive manner. And I've witnessed people trying to dig up some of that dirt from the past with him. And he doesn't go there. He talks about hope. He talks about change. He talks about giving kids a real chance at life. And I just admire that in him. And for those reasons, as well as all of his accomplishments on the ice, we're proud to have him as a Hall of Fame member of the Swift Current Broncos.
Sheldon Kennedy's accomplishments were also applauded by Assembly of First Nations National Chief Perry Bellegarde, who presented him with a traditional star blanket, offering warmth and a sense of safety for his journey through life, as Bellegarde sees Kennedy as an international leader.
We just went and took a tour of the center about 4 or 5 months back, and so it really impressed me and had an impact on me, and that's something I, as National Chief, I'm in a position to help bring about policy and legislative changes. And even talking to the premiers coming up in July, I will be raising this issue, and there's a proven model of success. You know, this could be replicated. You know, what he's doing in the city of Calgary through that could be taken right across Canada. And then he points it out, the sooner you deal with that childhood trauma, you know, you're going to save down the road, you know, by keeping a child out of jail.
The Broncos Hall of Fame induction follows a busy year of highlights for Kennedy and the city of Swift Current, as he was presented with the WHL's Alumni Achievement Award in January during the Rogers Hometown Hockey Weekend, and the official launch of the Safe Places Initiative with the city of Swift Current. All positive moves following years of negative stigma surrounding his on-ice time in Swift Current, as Sheldon no longer feels alone in his journey.
I know I'm not alone. I see it every day when these kids come through our door. And we see it every day in the newspaper. And I think as a country, I think we're leading the way. From what I see, we are leading the way as far as a willingness for change. And I think that change, the biggest change in this area is connecting the dots and looking at a collective impact that we can have together. We cannot look at this issue in isolation and in silos. We have to look at it as one and connect the dots. And that, to me, is, you know, I think, you know, a blessing of where we're at, you know, and where we've come.
Sheldon Kennedy is a member of the Order of Canada and continues to make a difference in the lives of victims of abuse through the Sheldon Kennedy Child Advocacy Center in Calgary. The City of Swift Current's fire department has unveiled its master plan for the next several years. We find out more in this report. As the City of Swift Current continues to grow, the need for enhanced fire protection services is at the forefront. Therefore, coinciding with the city's long-term goal of reaching 25 by 25 is a new master plan from the fire department. Fire Chief Dennis Pilon has been on board with the city's fire department for 8 years and says this new master plan is not only more in-depth, but was compiled internally by he and his staff compared to previous plans.
In 2009, we'd hired a consultant to do a review of the fire department, develop a master plan, and to determine possible locations for a new fire hall. And a lot of those maps that he created and the information that he gave us helped us improve our department. Then in 2011, we did a review of it with a different company, and it was rewritten to a certain extent, but neither of those were ever adopted by council. But they were used extensively internally.
Highlights of the fire department's master plan cover areas of growth for the next 10 to 15 years, with fire safety for all residents at the top of the list.
We looked at things like growing the staffing. So, we're 16 firefighters on the floor right now. At what point do we need 20? Where do we go to 24? That type of thing. We looked at when do we need a second fire hall? What kind of growth pattern would require that? And it's not based just on numbers of population, but also on distances. So if the city grows and stays in a tall, small, tight compartment and grows with high-rise buildings, that's different than if it spreads out because of travel times. So, we project that it will spread out. We're not big on high-rise buildings in Swift Current, so it will probably spread. Based on that, we have the residential sprinkler program, so that will delay it for a certain amount of time, but there will come a point in time when we can't put it off any longer. We will need a second hall.
Belon adds that the master plan also includes a focus on continuous training of fire personnel, benefiting emergency calls within and outside of the city.
We're growing our department on a regular basis with expansion into things like the wind turbines and regional support to other departments that don't have the high-angle rescue or the technical rescue capabilities that we have. So, we're growing it on a constant basis. But again, when I send 8 guys to a wind tower in Gull Lake, that leaves me 8 paid staff left in town, and they're not on duty. So I need to be able to bring them back in. I need to be able to get some auxiliaries. So at what point in time do we say, 4 on duty is not enough? We need to have 5 or 6 or 7.
The Swift Current Fire Department has a staff of 36 personnel and is proud to play an integral role in the mandate of offering a safe and caring community.
You get in and start playing with nuclear power, you're going to get more radiation, and more cancer, and more everything else. And I think we don't need it.
Well, this brings to a close another episode of Southwest TV News, reporting the stories that matter to you. We always welcome your news tips. You can always reach us here by phone at our studio or by email to contact us at southwesttvnews.com. Also, be sure to join us daily online for the latest news from across Southwest Saskatchewan and so much more at MyLocalTV.ca. And be sure to follow us on a range of social media. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm Carol Andrews.